And welcome back to the channel of Car Nonsense. Now, don't you hate it when you're working happily, but you get a new boss, they come in and they start asking you annoying questions about all your existing projects, sticking their oar in and suggesting new ways of working? Well, that's what's happened to Aston Martin. Tobias Moore's moving over to take control of the brand. He's come over from Mercedes-AMG, and there's a new Aston Martin, which is the first one to have his input. It's the Aston Martin Vantage F1 edition, and it's more track focused than ever. It's a bit more powerful, and it's basically the most hardcore Vantage you can buy. Now, obviously, it's designed really to be better on the track, so I'm going to go over to Silverstone Stowe Circuit in a bit, do some laps, but first I'm going to go out on the road and show you what it's like and give you a quick walk around before I do that. Let's go. Here it is in all its glory then. This is the new Aston Martin Vantage F1 edition. Why is it the F1 edition? Well, because it's got a little badge there. Because Aston Martin is providing some of the safety cars for this year's Formula 1 season. So what better excuse to slap an F1 badge on your most hardcore version of the Vantage? So this has got stiffer chassis up front, some bracing under there. It's got stiffer rear springs, bigger 21-inch wheels with stickier tyres. Lots of lovely new aero. Look, dive planes. Nothing says race car like a dive plane or aeroplane. And round the back, you've got a massive new diffuser as well. And obviously, the ever so subtle wing on the back. I think it's a wing. I think a chipmunk could probably get their head under there. Anyway, so yeah, stiffer, 25 horsepower up, so it's 535 horsepower now. Torque is the same, and it's got snappier mapping for the 8-speed automatic gearbox. But yeah, new colours, Aston Martin Racing Green. It's also available in white or black, and it just looks the nuts. Anyway, I'm going to head over to Silverstone now, do some laps in it, and I'll take you along for the ride. How exciting! Driving an Aston Vantage is always an event, and I have to say, they've turned it up to 11 with this one because it feels a whole lot sportier in the chassis department. I spoke about that stiffened front end kind of chassis bracing, and at the back stiffer springs as well. You sense that immediately going down the road, the way it turns in and the way it grips as well with those bigger tyres. It kind of suddenly feels like a slightly more serious car that can put its power down better than the standard Vantage, but at the same time, I'm not being jiggled out of my seat. I've got the suspension in normal mode. If you put it in track mode, it does get a lot firmer, but you can still live with this. It's not been ruined by, you know, making it more Nürburgringy and more curryvursty. It's just still works. It's kind of like the magic Porsche weaves with its GT3 cars, how well they work on road yet absolute monsters on track. I feel like this is going to be amazing when I get to Silverstone, because the lady will stop talking and interrupting me. But yes, my initial impressions are this is a Vantage that has been honed and sharpened to possibly be as sharp as it should have been originally. But yeah, I'll get onto more twisty roads and talk more about it then. But first impressions, very good. Well done, Mr. Toby. Actually, before we get out to the country roads, I should point out it slithers around town really, really remarkably well. That 8-speed automatic box knows when to not be aggressive and when to just slip into the background. Yeah, when you put it in sport mode, it gets pretty sharp and punchy in the back of heady, which is nice. Nice that it can do both. It's got a breadth of talent, like an octopus that's also an accountant. Right, we're on twisty-ish road now. Sport Plus mode. It's fast! That 4-litre turbocharged V8 is still an absolute monster, and it makes such a beautiful noise. I think it sounds better in this than in any of the AMGs. The tuning is spot on in terms of noise. And actually, it's got really good throttle response for a turbocharged engine as well, which sounds nerdy, but it means when you put your foot down, it goes as fast as you expect it to. It doesn't have weird lag or some kind of weird oversensitive calibration. The big paddles for shifting gears feel like you should be rowing a boat with them. They're very satisfying. Changing the signals in an old steam railway signal box if you're an absolute nerd, like Drive's Mike Fernie. But yeah. yeah, this thing, chassis-wise, is making a mockery of the twisty roads I've been on so far. I think it's going to be a bit of a weapon on track, and yes, as usual, I've used the word weapon to describe a car, which makes me a weapon. To talk about some other Vantage-y things, you can get this as a roadster or as this, the hardtop. I do like this because you just look in the mirrors and you can see the end of the massive wing on the back, but also the rear arches squat right out into your field of view on both sides, so it feels like you're driving something really special, which, let's be honest, you are. The steering is really darty, really quick, but not nervous. I just quite like it because it means on a tight, twisty road, you don't have to reposition your hands. You just twist your wrists. But quite tight corner, around we go. No kind of flailing of the fists, which is always a good thing, isn't it? Right, anyway, enough kind of road impressions. This is obviously a car that's been set up and engineered with the track in mind. So I'll see you at Silverstone, where it's probably going to be snowing, or, I don't know, lava falling from the sky, locusts, whatever weather Silverstone chooses today. It's going to be awful, but I'll see you there. Right, I've arrived at Stowe Circuit, which is like the small circuit in the middle of the big Silverstone circuit. It's owned by Aston Martin, it's one of their development tracks. And I'm basically allowed out on my own to go and do what I want. So I'll turn Radio 1 off for a start, and I'm probably just going to warm up gently and remember where the circuit goes, because it's been a while since I was here. And they casually said, oh yeah, you're out on your own, but you've got a walkie-talkie, and Valkyrie might come out as well and do some development laps. So that'll be exciting, won't it, to be hounded by an Aston Martin Valkyrie. I said if that happens, I'm just going to put my hazards on and hide like a little child. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about some stuff in this car that I've not mentioned. It's £142,000, so it's about 20 grand more than a regular V8 Vantage. So it's a premium, but it's the halo one of the range. And so far, I'm really impressed by it, to be honest. But I kind of wish all the normal Vantages felt this good. They feel pretty good, but this just feels more complete as a package on its dampers, right? I should probably put the suspension in Sport Plus. And everything else, I'm just going to stick in, I suppose I should stick in track route, shouldn't I? Right, let's remember where this circuit goes. Oh, there's a braking marker that says brake. That's handy, isn't it? Oh, I remember this. I got a Type R very sideways around here in the rain once. Okay. Around here. You get lots of crackles from the exhaust. I didn't really notice that so much on the road. Change of direction when you're up to speed is pretty bloody incredible. This car is on the 7.5 grand optional carbon ceramic brakes, and as you'd expect, they're immense. They stop you so quickly and with so much confidence. It's braking from 120 for a little chicane, nip it in, run it out, turn it in. I think I'm going to have to put track stability control on, because it's holding the power back, which is probably a good thing, to be honest. This just feels incredibly natural, actually. I thought this might feel a bit like it's trying to smear its tyres everywhere and struggling to put its power down and really headbutting the electronics, but they're not that bad. Right, let's put it in track stability control and see if I can spin it. I'm going to try not to spin it. Ah, that's a bit better. You get on the power a little bit earlier and it feels a little bit more natural. With second gear. Little slide there, but it's still looking after me. That's nice. That's reassuring. God, it is quick. It sounds amazing. Hit the brakes, in, use the weight transfer, even though there isn't a huge amount of it. God, it's got so much lateral grip on those tyres. This is a lot of fun. So I didn't think that Aston Martin Vantage owners would take their cars to a racetrack, but if you're an owner and you've got friends with GT3s and you want something with a bit more British panache, this, it feels as close to a British 911 GT3 as we're going to get. Yeah, it feels really fluid and actually quite a natural track car. I'm stunned, to be honest. It feels like Aston Martin's turned the Vantage into the thing it should always have been. From a driving point of view, I can't really think of too many negatives. The ride is good on the road, it's fun on the track, it feels like it could do this all day if I didn't hit the windscreen wipers with my big fat finger. Yeah, well done Aston Martin. You've made a bit of a beast out of this thing, but a friendly beast that is good on the road as well.
VP3 heading out on track now.
Oh, I've just had a... That was a walkie-talkie call, I think means the Valkyrie is coming out on track. Oh dear. I reckon they'll catch me up in half a lap, shall we see? I love the way it rotates on the brakes, it feels so natural, and yet you've got the electronics still there, even in track ESC mode, to stop you spattering it into the tyre wall rather embarrassingly. Where is the Valkyrie? There it is. I can see him. I bet I'm not going to get close. Chasing down a Valkyrie on Aston Martin's track in a Vantage. There it is. Oh, that looks amazing. That looks amazing. Oh, he's indicating I'm overtaking a Valkyrie. I just overtook a Valkyrie on Aston Martin's test track. This is nonsense. This is a nonsense day. I should probably pit now, otherwise I'm going to have no tyres and brakes left to drive home. What a thing. Well done, Aston. You should stick a GT badge on it and be like Porsche. Excuse me, I'm going to have some more fun. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you've liked this. And I'll see you next time when I won't be hooting an Aston round a track. Whee!